with all this, armed with all this, how should the marketing strategy statement look like? So we have looked at all these things, we have looked at the models, we have looked at how to do a potential or a forecast. And how should this strategy statement look at for a market? The strategy statement should specify what is the target market, where are you positioning your product in this target market, at what level are you positioning, first quadrant or the second quadrant or the third quadrant or the fourth quadrant. So we looked at one of the types of matrices that can be used. So whether it is a question mark or a star or a cash cow or going into the dogs, that is a BCG matrix. And what is the type of product lines that you are going to put into the marketplace? And how are you pricing this product? And how will this product be distributed? That is your distribution outlets. What is the sales force required for this? And what is the service that you are going to provide after the sales is done? Then comes the advertising, then comes the sales promotion, then comes the R&D, then comes the marketing research. So suppose you look at a marketing strategy statement, you have to specify all these things. You have to look at the target market, you have to look at the position, you have to look at the product line, you have to look at the price, you have to look at the distribution outlets, you have to look at the sales force, you have to look at the service, look at the advertising, sales promotion, R&D and marketing research. All this leads you to look at straight from a product idea to a product concept. What is this? It is an elaborated version of an idea. Then a product image that is acquired by consumers of actual or potential product. So you look at a strategy statement, then you minutely look at your product ideas, product concepts, and what is the type of product image that you are looking at it. So in other words, there is a continuous process of development which you have to get involved in before you say this concept I am going to make use of. What I have presented to you here is a simple product concept. Let us say you add a powder to milk to increase its nutritional level and taste. This is an idea which came to you. Let us say I add a powder milk to increase its nutritional level and taste. So many times you see many energy drinks saying that many times doctors also tell you, take these energy drinks, your energy levels will increase. You will be able to, if you are a sportsman, you are running at this level, you may be able to run faster, all those types of things. Suppose you are getting this type of idea, then you may look at these concepts. Concept 1, it can be an instant breakfast drink for adults who want a quick nutritional breakfast without preparing it. So you don't have to elaborately go through the preparation process. You make this drink, that is you put this powder, your milk, and it increases the taste and also at the nutritional levels. So you get more calories, more energy, all those types of things all coming to you very fast. The second concept could be, it can be a tasty snack drink for children. That is a midday refreshment. When the child is done with his or her food, give them at the end this tasty snack drink. The concept 3 is, it can be looked upon as a healthy supplement for the aged before retiring for the day. So before the persons retire for the day, you may say, take this drink, you will have a good sleep, and when you are up in the morning, you are very healthy, looking fresh, all those types of things. So depending on all these concepts, you may position this concept in the product positioning map. You may look at it as a low cost, quick preparation, and your market can be your breakfast market. Your brand positioning map can be instant breakfast market, where you look at it as a medium price, medium calorie, or low price, low calorie product. You say, many times people don't want to put so many calories into their system. They say, okay, reduce the number of calories. So depending on what the market wants, you may develop the product according to the taste of the market. It can be a low cost, quick preparation, it can be medium priced or medium calorie, or it can be a low price, low calorie product. You find all these types of products in large numbers. You see so many milks from Nilgiris, from other manufacturers, each of them saying that it gives a boost in energy when you take this in the when you take this, whether it is for a breakfast or whether it is for midday refreshment or when you retire. So this is a type of development which comes. But when you are giving this concept development, the one thing which comes is how do you test these concepts? So you said so many things. How do you test all these concepts? You can test all these concepts by some of these yardsticks. What is the type of yardsticks you are going to adopt? One, whether the benefits are clear and believable. That is, you took this milk, is the taste good? You find that there is a burst of energy, or you are having a higher energy level than what you had initially. So in other words, are the benefits clear and believable? This is called measurement of communicability and believability. And the second thing which you might like to know is, does the product solve a problem or fill a need? So you may many times not like to put your family members to undue stress before you are going for duty in the morning time. You may say, let them be relaxed. Instead of making a big breakfast for them, let us have this breakfast drink and be off to the bus stop or whatever. This is called the need level. Does the product solve a problem or fill a need? That is giving you the need level. Now, you may like to find out whether there are other products which are currently meeting this need and satisfying the customer. That is, gives the gap level or gives the need gap score. Suppose the demand for the product is 100, let us say, and what is being satisfied is, let us say, only 20. That means there is still space for 80 more to come into this. Gives the need gap score. Is the price reasonable in relation to value? Suppose you price it at X. Most of these milks are priced at, in the present day circumstances, between 30 to 35 rupees. Suppose you say your product is priced at this value, say 28 rupees or 29 rupees. Then the question that you have to ask is the price reasonable in relation to value? That is a perceived value. Then as a consumer, you may like to find out whether consumer would definitely, probably not, or definitely not buy the product. So the product is introduced. Are you going to purchase that product or not? Gives what is called the purchase intent. Okay. Then you may like to also find out who would use this product and how often would it be used. Will he be happy with one milk, this thing, or he may like to use 2 quantities of that, maybe your 2 Tetra packs, or it may be your 2 bottles, whatever it is. So what does it tell you? It gives you the user targets and also the purchase frequency. So suppose you say even the aged persons also require this as a drink before signing off for the day. Now suppose you come to the conclusion it is not just the aged persons, others also might like to use this drink before retiring for the day. So you will get targets, user targets, and the purchase frequency that you may expect from this market. So if you really go to a place like Big Bazaar, you find these types of milks available in large quantities. It is a large quantity, this thing, many times saying you pick 3, that is pay for 3, take 4, that is the 4th one comes free to you. So he may price it at 35 rupees or 40 rupees, but when you pay 120 rupees, to get 135 rupees free. The result is you are getting at 120 rupees 4 bottles or 4 Tetra packs coming to you. The result is you are paying only 30 rupees per bottle. Then with all this, there is one more statement which is attributed this great man Levitt. He says that with all this also, everybody sells intangibles in the marketplace, no matter what is produced in the facility. Your product might be very good, it may have very good characteristics, but still you may not get the desired sales level you expect. That is dependent on so many intangibles in the marketplace. The market gets influenced in the whole this. Okay, we stop here. We continue in the next class.